Vice President Harris. I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme.
What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. And I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. I'm going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you guys are doing today. And of course, we will get things started. Now, before we get any further, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to join the website, right now is the time to do it. Go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. That way you can watch today's live. You can post in Hooligans Alley. You can hang out with all the hooligans in the group chats, and you'll even be able to join us Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern time for our voice chat. It's a lot of fun and a lot of laughs, so definitely go get you a membership for jeffmaclive.com. 5 p.m. Eastern time, we will be covering President Trump live. It's titled President Trump Delivers Remarks in Tucson, Arizona. It's not a MAGA rally, from what I understand. It's just some sort of live event that he's going to be at, and it's going to be a lot of fun, so hopefully I see all of you guys there. We will be starting off this live with a video titled Massachusetts Girls Field Hockey Team Forfeits Game Against Team with a Male Player. What's kind of weird about this story is the male player is not claiming to be trans. It's not a dude in a dress. It's just a dude who's on the women's team because they like that stuff in Massachusetts, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, but apparently that's the way things are. Then we got a video titled White House Accidentally Sends Bombshell Email to Fox News Digital. Oh, Kirby, if you didn't have enough reasons to dislike him, he's pretty much disregarding dead vets from Afghanistan and all of that. He could care less. Then we got a video titled New York City Residents React to Trump-Harris Debate. That's just a fun one. Street interviews or whatever, asking people what they thought about the presidential debate with Haitian Harris and President Trump. Then we got a video from Hawk Jeffries. Oh, Hakeem Jeffries is blasting President Trump for inviting Laura Loomer to the 9/11 ceremonies in New York. Cry hard. Cry hard. Hawk Jeffries. You ain't shit. Stupid. You want to ban Americans from going to a 911 event? What a piece of shit. Anyways, then we got a video titled Car Accidents Caused by Haitian Drivers in Springfield, Ohio. Now, they keep trying to tell you everything's fine in Ohio, but it's not. It just simply is not. So we will continue to bring up stories about that. Then we got a video titled FDA Research Shows that teen vaping is at a all-time low. Teens aren't vaping. Well, I wish they'd do a study on teens doing fentanyl, because those little pill heads running around they look like they're in their 40s already. I mean, I'm glad they're not smoking. If they could stop doing drugs, I'd be even happier, but that's, whatever's whatever. They're pushing their agenda right here. Then we got a video titled Civilians Take Part in Historic First Commercial Spacewalk. Space. They sent a bunch of billionaires to space, and they got to pretend to be astronauts or something. It looks fake as shit to me, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, then we have an interesting video. It's titled Joe Biden Wears a MAGA Hat and says, "Don't eat the dogs and cats." And then we have a picture of old man Walter sitting there with a room full of MAGA kids. All the kids got on Trump shirts and stuff like that. I'm just waiting for that Joe Biden, President Trump endorsement. That's what I'm waiting for. That'll be fantastic. Then we have two funny videos of the day. The first one is titled Full Metal Kitties from the Feline Reserve have been deployed to Ohio. And then the second one is all kitties that don't want to end up on the menu have been told to evacuate Ohio. Both of those are coming up later on today. But first, let's read through the chat really quick and see how you hooligans are doing. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Zero? What's up, Annette? What's up, Breeze by You? What's up, Damsel? What's up, Guess Some J? What's up, Russell? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? What's up, Matt? What's up, Tin Man? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Salty Ragu? And what's up, Alistair? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone over on Rumble? Russell, you were first today. I appreciate you racing to the chat and being omnipresent, Russell. You're badass. Breeze by You, you're also omnipresent. I appreciate you. What's up, AR16? What's up, Mr. B-New? What's up, MU? What's up, Screaming Eagle? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. What's up, Zupia? What's up? Let me see. Rappy, did I get you? Either way. Happy freedom, Rappy. What is your name? We'll go with 78. Happy freedom, 78. What's up, Black White Bull? What's up, Kung Fu? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Matthew? If I didn't get you already. Let me see. Scrolling. Do. What's up, Amarain? Happy freedom. What's up, Freedom Liberty? Appreciate you being here. Let me see. What's up, Kelly? Happy freedom. I think we got everyone. Hit that like button over on Rumble. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, Zeus Boot? What's up, DeMarquise? Happy freedom to you. And what's up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Matt? What's up, Tom Servo? What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom. I think we got everybody. Happy freedom to you, hooligans. And what is up, everyone over on the communism platform? Matt, you're omnipresent. I appreciate you. What's up, Mr. Satan? What's up, Bombay Man? Here, Juicer, what are you doing over there on that gay-ass censored platform? You can cut that out. Come on here, Juicer. Come on now. Come on. DeMarquise, you're omnipresent. I appreciate you. All right, hooligans. Let's go ahead and dig into this here. I got to remember, we got President Trump 2.5 hours from now. We'll see how it all goes. Either way, we're going to start with this first video. It's titled Massachusetts Girls Field Hockey Team Forfeits Their Game Against a Team with a Male Player. Stupid. Like I said, it's not a trans thing. It's just a stupid thing. But either way, that's what's coming up next. Now, before we get into that, I want to show you guys these brand new Outraged Hooligan t-shirts. It says, if you are not outraged, you are not paying attention. Brand new shirts. Thank you, Alistair, so much for making the design. Alistair's badass. Big shout out to Alistair. He's doing all of our graphic stuff right now, and he's the best. He's the best. So shout out to you, Alistair. Thank you so much. You guys tag Alistair. Say thank you. These shirts are fantastic. These come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mug stickers, and of course I made some dog tags. So definitely go check it out. Today I got on the plain Jane Jeff Mac t-shirt. I will be dropping the links for the merch store in the chat while we're watching this first video.
A Massachusetts girls field hockey team making national headlines after forfeiting an upcoming game to avoid facing an opposing team that has a male player. Last November, a Dighton Rehoboth athlete was seriously injured after being hit by this shot from a boy on the opposing team. And after that incident, the regional school committee said players and coaches can opt out of games where the opponent's team includes a member of the opposite sex. In Massachusetts, boys are allowed to compete on girls' teams when that sport is not offered with a male equivalent. For more insight, I'm now joined by longtime sportscaster and analyst, as well as coach of the Team USA men's tennis team at the 2004 Olympics, Patrick McEnroe. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for your time. This story is making all the headlines this morning, national attention. Important to point out, this isn't a transgender player. But the debates are similar here, right? I mean, when you first read this story, what'd you think?
Can you say head scratcher, Marky? And good morning to you, and thanks for having me back. Look, I'm proud of the girls on this field hockey team and their coaches because they didn't feel safe. You know, you saw that injury. That was brutal. I've heard some adults say, listen, you know, field hockey is a skill sport. It's all about skill. It's not about strength. That's a bunch of baloney. They're on a field. They're running around. They've got sticks in their hands. So clearly a boy of the same age, all other things being equal, is going to be stronger, going to be faster than a girl. So to me, it's not right at all that this is forced upon the team. But at least the team now has the right to say we're not going to participate. Now, the other side of it, of course, Marky, is that they're going to miss out potentially on a chance to go to the playoffs and, you know, just play high school sports. And by the way, I have a little bit of knowledge on this, Marky. When I was in high school, I was obviously a tennis player in high school. Yeah. I played against the #1 player from another school was a girl. And I played against her. Now, tennis is a little bit different, right?
In singles, or was that mixed doubles?
That was in singles. She played #1 because she was the best player in the entire school. She was a great female player. So I played against her. So I have a little knowledge about this. But in a sport that's a team sport where you're playing, again, you know, with sticks, and it's not like the game of tennis. It's a lot different. To me, it's not right. And by the way, since when does every single person or kid have the right to just say, oh, I'm going to play on the girls team because there's no boys team. Well, how about you have a couple options? You could gather some other boys and get enough other boys to play on a field hockey team or whatever team it may be. Or God forbid, how about this, Marky? How about you don't get everything you want?
Yeah.
You actually have to pick another sport, play another sport. It's not your inalienable right to play in the high school girls field hockey team when you're a boy. I'm sorry, I just don't get that.
I think a lot of parents at home are listening to you thinking about, if their own daughter, I'm a mom now of a daughter. If their daughter was playing on this team against a boy, how would they handle it? Quickly, do you think that this law needs to be changed in Massachusetts?
I think it should be, yeah. I absolutely think it should be, because I think it should be very clear. You could always come up, even the team in Massachusetts said, well, if the boy's playing goalie or playing defense, like, we would be okay with that. See, to me, that's putting too much onus on the actual team and the girls and the coach of the team. It should be clear cut. And again, if adults want to go and play field hockey or hockey together and sign up on their own and participate as adults, I'm fine with that. Go ahead, enjoy yourself, but not in a high school team that's being funded by the government. I'm sorry, that's just not right.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people are agreeing with you, and also that girl last year in that game, she got smoked. I mean, she had,
oh, man.
dental surgeries. I was reading about everything, so she didn't want to play them. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to
So they don't even have a good excuse. They don't even have a good excuse this time. Normally it's inclusion. Like, oh, well, we need to let the really gay people be able to play on the girls' sports too. Dudes in dresses and all. This ain't even a dude in a dress. This is just a dude. I mean, I don't know. It's really weird because when I was in high school, I played football. I played football in junior high too. A little bit. I actually got kicked off the football team for playing too rough. Imagine what that's like. We had girls on our team and they never made it to the game. Never. We'd start summer camp or whatever, 2-3 weeks before the school year started. And by the time we had our first game, all the girls that were on the team were done. They didn't want to play anymore. And it did create issues where you'd go to tackle a player and then you'd realize that player is a girl and then you would kind of half-ass do it because you didn't want to hurt the girl. And it's messy because you want, everyone to have a space to be able to play sports. Now, like I was saying, when I was in high school, we had girls on our team. That's because there was no female football team. I don't know if there is any female football teams in high school. I'm not really sure about that. Maybe they should make a female football team if we're going to be worried about the other gender in sports and stuff. Now, it's really stupid with everything that's going on that they're going to have dudes and girls sports, but they make a rule that if you don't want to face a female team that has a dude on that team, then you can opt out, but it will hurt your chances to be able to go to state or anything like that. That's dumb. That's dumb. If they're given the ability to opt out because of unfairness, it shouldn't affect them being able to go to state. There shouldn't be some negative reaction to that. They need to either figure it out. There either needs to be no negative response to forfeiting against male players in female sports, or they need to not allow male players in female sports. And then especially when it comes to these contact sports, like they were talking about that incident that had happened where a girl was hit so hard by a dude that she had to have dental surgery and all of that. That's wrong. That's wrong. Like, and if you got contact sports, I don't think that they should have mixed gender like that because of the physical differences. Girls are going to get hurt 9 times out of 10 roughhousing with boys. That's just how it's going to go. That's, physical makeup. It's not me being a meanie. That's just the way God made us. And I think in contact sports, they shouldn't have mixed genders. And really, I don't think they should have it at all. But like I said, if they don't have a sport for you, it kind of sucks that you just don't get to play that sport. Like I was saying, I don't think there's female football teams. So women just don't, or girls really, don't get to play football. That's not really fair. That's not right. We should do something about that. I don't know what. I don't know if there's enough women that want to play football in high school that they could even make a team. But we can't have people being injured because of gender differences. This is stupid. And obviously the doorway for this is the LGBTXYZ bullshit. So we do away with that. We could pretty much do away with cross-gendering sports in general. But Either way, it's a little messy. It's a little messy, and all that trans shit is what opened the doorway for this. Either way, next up we have White House accidentally sends bombshell email to Fox News Digital. It has to do with the Afghanistan withdrawal, and Kirby's pretty much like, that's not important. Let's not respond. In a response that actually made it to the news. Like, so stupid. If you didn't have enough reasons to not like Captain Hot Dog Fingers, Kirby at the White House, we got a little bit more for you. Either way, that's what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see how you hooligans are doing today, and what you think about this non-shapeshifter being in women's sports. Here, Juicer, are they still starting the gay NFL? I heard that was fake. I can't think of the word I'm looking for right now, but I heard that was fake. I don't know if they're actually going to do that or not. There was talk about it, and I don't remember what happened. Something happened, and there was a bunch of talk about it, that they were going to do trans NFL or something. And then for a week, I heard that it was fake, and now I don't hear anything about it, so I'm not really sure here, Juicer. It would be entertaining, though, to see clowns out there doing the thing. Drag queen football. I don't know, that sounds entertaining. It does sound entertaining. You know there's going to be a lot of crying. Lots of crying, like sobbing, weeping. Men weeping on the field in a dress. Like, it would be very entertaining, I will say that. Mr. Beansy Beans, John Kirby's a fuckhead. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. He has all the characteristics of a used car salesman. Matt, our varsity place kicker on the football team is a girl. Yeah. I just don't think there's enough women willing to play football to develop a girl team, but I don't know. It's a difficult one because I think anybody who wants to play sports should be able to play sports because it's better you're doing sports than doing drugs or alcohol or cutting your wiener off. But then when you look at it for injured players and stuff like that, it's a messy situation. Snooks. Only good contact sport for men and women is bed wrestling. I've never heard of it being labeled like that. Bed wrestling. What is the other one? Oh yeah, all the hookers online, the online prostitutes, they refer to themselves as mattress actresses. And that's what that reminds me of. Anyways. What's up, Cassandra? Happy freedom. All those ages. Let me see. What are you guys talking about? Mr. Beans, gay NFL, taste the rainbow. I don't know about all that, Mr. Beans. I don't want to taste the rainbow. They've really changed that. Skittles is going to have to do something. AR-16 up against the walls for your daily harassment. Yep, that's right, AR-16. You were right. Screaming Eagle, let's all cry together. Big Chap, girls can be the cheerleaders. I mean, that's true. See, and they got dudes doing cheerleading too. You don't hear complaints about that though. Pumpkin, what are you saying? I used to beat my brother up when I was 8 and he was 4 years old. You're mean, Pumpkin. I don't know where that statement's coming from, but you're a meanie. Zupia, dental work is nothing. In high school, I ruptured my buddy's testicle playing field hockey, but seriously, fuck men and women's sports, period. That's crazy, Zupia. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. I don't even know what field hockey is. Like, I don't even know what that is. They don't have that here, or at least they don't have it where I live. I have no idea what that is. What's up, Giggling Spy? Happy freedom to you. What's up, J-Dog? Happy freedom. Saying, what's up, bigots? Alistair, we used to play street hockey when I was a kid in New York. All of us boys just knew to take it easy on the girls. It gets physical really quick and someone could get hurt. Blood spilled. Yeah. Yep, Alistair. That's what we did when I was in high school football. We knew that there was girls and you didn't want to hurt the girls. You were like, oh no, it's a girl. Okay, just kind of flop against them instead of, taking them out. But it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. And this is high school talk. I don't think dudes have any excuse to be in women's sports or the other way around when it comes to professional athletes, Olympics, that kind of stuff. I don't think there's any excuse for cross-gendered sports. But in high school, like I'm saying, you know, you want to have access. You want your kids to be able to play sports. When I lived in Niles, we had a YMCA there, and they provided sports and stuff. So if you didn't want to play for the school, you could go play for the YMCA. And that's what I did for basketball. I played at the YMCA for 2 or 3 years. My sister was on my team. But both teams were like that. It was, I don't even know what it's called, both genders on both teams. That's what it was, boys and girls, whatever that's called. But they need to do something, because you want your kids to have access to sports. But the Olympic dudes knocking out those female boxers, that stuff doesn't make any sense. There's no excuse for that. Tom Servo, I want to play against the Pee Wee team. I'll dominate. That's what's next, Tom Servo. That's why they're doing the gender confusion, so then they can turn around and have age dysphoria. There's gender dysphoria, but they're trying to work towards age dysphoria. So if you feel like a 6-year-old, you can go date a 6-year-old. That's where this is all heading. We're just waiting to see what happens next. But that's where the path is taking us. Guess who? Hooters restaurant has male waiters. They're a diversity hire for sure. Wait a minute. What does the Hooters dudes wear? Do they got to wear the booty shorts and the, you know, cut up tank tops and stuff too? I don't want that. I've never been to Hooters, but you're talking me out of it. What's up, Ace? Happy Freedom. Co-ed. Thank you, Paula. Co-ed. That's what I was thinking of. DeMarquise lacrosse dressers. That's what I was wondering. Is field hockey lacrosse? I've heard lacrosse. I ain't never heard of field hockey, though. What's up, Terrell? Happy Freedom. All right, Hooligans. I think we're going to move on to this next one. Snooks, what did you flop against the girls? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I was always in trouble when I was in football. I play too rough. I try too hard. What's up, Chrissy Star? Happy Freedom. Klaus Dan, is you saying hi? They can hear you. Okay. He says hello. He says happy freedom. All right, we're going to get into this next one. It's titled White House Accidentally Sends Bombshell Email to Fox News Digital. Oh, Dusty Captain Hot Dog Fingers. Orange Man bad in his mean tweets and stuff, but Kirby, he's sending shitty emails directly from the White House. All right, let me see if I got little notes here. Nope, we're good. So let's go ahead and get into this. Once again, it is titled White House Accidentally Sends Bombshell Email to Fox News Digital. And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
White House National Security Council Communications Advisor John Kirby accidentally sent out an email dismissing veteran concerns over the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. So here's what happened. Fox News Digital reached out to the White House regarding critical comments from several veterans. Kirby replied, quote, obviously no use in responding. A handful of vets indeed, and all of one stripe. He then followed up with Fox News Digital saying, quote, clearly I didn't realize you were on the chain. He only thought it was White House staffers. Tony Gonzalez is a Texas congressman, and he joins me now. Congressman, good morning to you. Okay, so what do you think about this? Because it does sound like John Kirby was saying, well, it's 4 veterans. They all might be Republicans. One of them was Congressman Corey Mills. So we don't need to respond to this.
Good morning, Carly. Thank you for having me. I tell you what, I served in Afghanistan. I served 5 years in Afghanistan before I retired as a Master Chief years later. I also attended earlier this week the Congressional Gold Medal ceremony and, met with the 13 Americans that were killed at Abbey Gate and their families, and it was painful. So to dismiss something like that in an email as if it's just a few people, clearly they're disconnected. Anyone who served in Afghanistan, it is painful to this day, and it's absolutely wrong. They should not treat the families that way. They should not treat veterans that way. Show a little decency and show a little respect.
Yeah, no doubt. And we're so glad that those 13 who died were posthumously given that award this week. You were there, and I'm sure it was a reflective and powerful moment to watch their families receive that award while they weren't there to receive it themselves. So we also want to ask you about. So
they go on to talk about stuff that is not relevant. Anyways, Yeah, the White House can't be concerned with that kind of stuff. I can't believe they let an email like that slip out. It's so weird to compare what I had thought about the government prior to being a live streamer. For some reason, I was under this impression that the government was like all knowing. Like they can do anything. They got high technology. They got real smart people. They got badass FBI agents and Secret Service and our military and all this stuff. And then now I'm sitting here and it's like gay people in the military. Kirby sending shitty ass emails. They don't care at all about veterans. I mean, it's all bad. It is all bad out of the White House. And it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that they'll just let an email like that fly. It makes me wonder, like, one day will I accidentally receive an email from the White House? It sounds like none of them know what's going on, and all of them have their head planted firmly up their ass. It's really weird. And then I like that there's a follow-up email. Sorry, I didn't know you were in the chain. That kind of sounds like, please don't share this out to the whole nation so they know that I'm a piece of shit, as if we didn't know that Kirby wasn't a piece of shit, but he is. He is. Anyways, next up we have New York residents react to Trump-Harris debate. These are street interviews, and they're pretty entertaining. Obviously talking about the debate that just happened on Tuesday. It's mixed reviews, of course, but either way, that's what's coming up next. We're going to read through the chat really quick and see what you hooligans think about Kirby's email. Should have told him that was hate mail. Breeze by you. The government has no idea what is happening. It seems like the government right now is filled with traitors and dumb fucks. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Mr. Beans and Beans, if John Kirby shoved his head up his ass, when he pulls it out, he'll look like KJP. That's terrible, Mr. Beans and Beans. Well, we know that's not quite what's going on because we've seen them both in the same place at the same time, but who knows? That must be how they do her hair every day. Guess I'd fight Kirby, Schiff, and Nadler all at the same time, and you'd win. They ain't got it. They can't do anything to that hooligan power. That's that hooligan strength. Guess Kirby is so unintimidating. Yeah. Yep. Matt, this dude's a rhino. What did he do before lying on TV and wagging his fingers all over the screen? Like, what did he do to get there? Did he take the Hyena Harris route? Does he got a loose back door now, but a high promotion? Breeze by you, it's not even Dems and Republicans anymore. It's Americans versus traitors. Yeah, it is. That's why we're seeing so many people blue team jumping ship. We got blue voters who are going to vote red, and we got blue leaders that are turning into red leaders. Guess he was a fluffer before. I can tell. I can tell the way he's wagging those hot dog fingers all over the screen. What's up, Tony Rez? Happy freedom. Air 16, my cats won't leave the house. They heard about what's happening. Sly dog cats on the Barbie. You cut that out. Diane, lacrosse and field hockey are totally different. I didn't realize that, Diane. I will have to look into it. The Marquise, Kirby's, oopsie. Yeah, and they'll cover it up. I wonder when the next White House press briefing is. Oh, they got one today. This starts in 15 minutes. Oh no, it should have started 15 minutes ago. Well, you know they're going to talk about the email. Trying to think. It's going to make today super long if we cover this White House press briefing. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. We'll read through the chat, though. Snooks. Well, Kirby was a rear admiral in the Navy, and that's true. I believe it. I believe it. What are you saying? I know it's terrible. He should have never sent that email. I know. Fuck him. I know. I hear you. I hear you. Terrell, voting Republican now. No more. What is this? I don't know what that word is, but I hear you, Terrell. What's up, Trev? Happy freedom. We'll see about this press briefing. I'm sitting here thinking on it because it's going to take 2 hours. It's going to take forever. And then we already have so much content. We're going to be here for the next 5 hours. And President Trump's going to be live in 2.5 hours. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Because I kind of want to see them talk about that. The reporters are definitely going to ask about Kirby sending that email. And KJP is going to downplay it. And they're going to talk about the debate because there hasn't been a press briefing since the debate. Well, drop a 1 in the chat if you think we should cover the press briefing. And drop a 2 if you would rather not. Let's see what we have. Next, we have the street interviews. Salderigo, he was a towel boy. Mm-hmm. John, what are you saying, 10 man? John Kirby, a man who's very smart can be such a fucking idiot. Yeah, 10 man. I mean, we all make mistakes. I totally understand that, but not that level of mistakes. Somebody's asking something important like that about dead veterans and stuff. Nah, you shouldn't write shit mail. You should really think about what you're going to say before hitting that send button, you know? It is really mixed reviews. It is almost even for the 2s and 1s across all the platforms. Juan to Marquise. Will you go sit down somewhere? You need to pull up a chair and a microphone or be quiet. I will talk to you however I want to. Don't talk to me like that. Mm-hmm. DJ Blazer, no, we already know. I think I'm seeing more 2s than 1s. What's up, Clouds? Happy freedom. What's up, AKA? Mm-hmm. You tell him, Klaus. All right, we're going to get into this next one. It's titled, New York City Residents React to Trump-Harris Debate. I can't believe people are going to vote for Harris. It just... They don't have any answers. They might as well just say, just cuz. Just cuz. In 2020, it was because, at least it's not Trump. Now they're not even saying that. They're just like, well, it's just cuz. Anyways, let's get into this. Like I said, this is New York City Residents React to Trump-Harris Debate.
The point of any debate is to move the needle for undecided voters, and the only way to find out if it actually worked is to go out and ask, because the AP claimed that voters in New York City think Kamala Harris won, but you know what? I don't believe them. So I went out, found out for myself. It's exactly what we did.
What did I think? He wins on the facts.
What was your favorite policy of hers?
Favorite policy? Not being Donald Trump, not trying to attempt a coup.
So you're not for Kamala?
I am not for Kamala, absolutely not. I think she's a complete liar and fabricator, and if she had a chance to change something, she would have changed something.
Favorite part about Trump's policies?
Favorite part about Trump's policy? My pocket, my finances, the no inflation part about it.
Any specific policies you like best about hers? Who did you favor?
Harris.
Really? What was your favorite policy about hers?
Everything that she had to say was absolutely wonderful.
Well, you got somebody who in office who says she's going to do this and that when she gets elected. She's in office already. She's in office. I used to be a Democrat, not anymore.
Are you better off than you were 4 years ago?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Come on, man.
No.
I gotta put this on TV.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
No.
I apologize. Way better. Fake news. Newsmax sucks.
No answers, but a lot of crying. A lot of crying. I'm telling you, those blue voters, they don't even know what they're voting for. That lady looked like she had a gun to her head. She was like, well, I just really liked everything she said. It was all really great. I'm like, are you all right? You all right? Is your life in danger? Blink twice if you need us to help you. Like, nobody's forcing you to vote for the hyena Harris, okay? Like, you're all right. This is a safe space. You'll be okay. And then the two dudes sit next to each other. I couldn't sit that close to somebody who's voting ignorance like that. Voting for the downfall of our country, I don't think I could sit that close to somebody like that. Not without making them feel terrible about themselves. I would just have to inform them nonstop I mean, there'd be no breaks. As soon as they enter the room, I'm like, oh, this fucking guy, blah, blah. I would never let them alone. I would never leave them alone. They would constantly be hearing about it. I don't know. It's a better man than me. Anyways, next up we have Hakeem Jeffries, or Hawk2 Jeffries, blasts Donald Trump for inviting Laura Loomer to the 911 ceremonies in New York. What's really interesting about the Laura Loomer mention here is Laura Loomer and MTG are going at it on Twitter. I don't know why they don't like each other, but they do not like each other. They used to be friends, I guess, and right now they are tag teaming each other with dirty laundry. They're infighting hardcore, and MTG is calling Laura Loomer a conspiracy theorist and a liar and a bunch of other stuff. And I don't even know what Laura Loomer is saying about MTG, just pretty much calling her fake and stuff like that. But catfighting between Laura Loomer and MTG, it's crazy. And to have that going on, and then have Hawk2 Jeffries come out and say, you know, Laura Loomer doesn't deserve to be at a 911 ceremony, is pretty weird. One, that sounds like communism, and two, why is everyone attacking Laura Loomer? Is she about to get a promotion or something? Like, why is she so relevant all of a sudden? What did she do to kick the hornet's nest? I'm not quite sure. Either way, we're going to read through the chat really quick, and we'll get on to Hawk2 Jeffries crying his eyes out about Laura Loomer and President Trump. Mr. Beansy Beans, I could sit next to the guy who's speaking about voting for Camilla. I just slip a couple silent farts. You just hit him with the silent but deadly. You've said all you need to say. That's how it goes. Russell, a cat fight. That's what's going on X. Breeze by You Jeffries is such an idiot. I still don't know much about Hakeem Jeffries. I'm trying to think. There was something that he was in support of that was ass backwards. I don't know if it was dudes and girls sports, cutting the wieners off of kids. I'm not sure what it was. Something outrageous, but he's in support of it. Otherwise, I don't know much about Hawk2 Jeffries. Hair juicer, apologize. I don't know if they'll apologize. I'm trying to think. I would almost expect KJP to say that Kirby's email was hacked before saying that Kirby says he's sorry. They're going to blame it on Russia. That's what's going to happen. That email didn't come from Kirby. That came from Russia. And Trump advised it. That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to say. I'm predicting the press briefing right now. Cassandra, what a great answer. My pocket. Yeah, exactly. Breeze by You, it's mind-boggling that there is anyone stupid enough to say that they will vote for Cunt Milla. Crazy insane. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, Breeze by You. I agree. I would be embarrassed to say something like that. To know what these people are doing, and they're hurting kids, and they're hurting women, and they're hurting all of us with this open border. They're sending all of our money to foreign countries. They're not doing anything to help us at all. And then when we're getting robbed, raped, killed, kidnapped, trafficked, they don't want to talk about it, because they're protecting the border crossers and stuff that are doing it. Look at how they're downplaying what's going on in Springfield, Ohio. And then people are like, yeah, I need 4 more years of that. What do you mean? Do you hate me? Like, do you want us to die? Like, what is going on? Why are you voting against America? It doesn't make any sense. I would be so embarrassed to even mention that out loud, to be like, yeah, I'm voting for the downfall of America. I'm like, stupid. These are stupid people. Russell Jeff's going to get handled by Klaus. We're about due for a fight. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Reading through. We'll get on to this next one. Guess Kirby's email was hawked. That's what happened. They're going to say Trump did it. You already know. What's up, Dual Helix? Happy freedom. Kevin, Trump Skeletor in the Legion of Doom sent that email. Yep, that's what they're going to say during the press briefing. What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom. Astroheimer, they're still in denial about their party and have TDS at the same time. Well, they need an antibiotic because this is getting old. They're over there crying about the orange man bad. It's like at the debate, Harris could have shot 2 children right there on the screen, and people would still vote for her. I just don't get it. I do not get it. It doesn't make sense. So there's no Hyena Harris voters around me, so I don't have anyone to ask. Like, why doesn't your brain work? What happened to you to make you vote for traitors and sympathize with pedophiles? And I don't have anybody to ask. All those idiots are just on the internet. Big Chap, why are you starving poor Klaus? Look at his ribs are showing and crying out loud. Big Chap, you know that's fake news. That's fake news. Klaus Daniels eats more than I do. He's over there getting it. He's a plump kitty. I should weigh him. I wonder what he weighs right now. Alistair, I'm done trying to change minds. Too soft and stupid to still vote for their own. Wait a minute. To vote after their own vote was stolen and Harris was installed with 0 votes. Doesn't deserve my time or respect. Yeah, Alistair. And that's the big red flag is nobody voted for her, but all these people love her. She's competing with Trump in the polls. She's always been the worst of the worst until old man Walter stepped down. Like, none of this makes sense. And Democrats don't question it at all. The Democrat voters are just happy with it. They're just happy with it. And what really, really kills me on top of it is there's a big portion of people saying they're voting for a woman. I'm voting for the woman. I'm supportive of women leaders. Well, then why the fuck do you celebrate women or dudes in women's sports? Why do you celebrate the White House giving Woman of the Year awards to dudes in dresses? You don't even know what a fucking woman is. So how are you voting for a woman? How do you even know that's a woman? She didn't tell you her pronouns. How do you know? Like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid that this is the same people. These are the same individuals doing both things. It makes no sense. Pumpkin MTG loves to fight. Yeah, I think so too. I think she stays relevant by arguing and fighting with people. Big Chap, eating bugs and Harris is good for our democracy. Yeah, Big Chap. They're under the spell right now. Fanatical. Nobody loves her. It's just all fuck Trump. Yeah. Yep. They don't have reasons for why Trump is bad, and they also don't have reasons for why Hyena Harris is good. The same people, just without reason. Appreciate you. They don't even know what a woman is. I know. It's messed up. Makes no sense. Was it Nookie? Nookie? The guy yelling Fox News sucks. He actually said Newsmax sucks, because that's who that was. That wasn't Fox, that was Newsmax. But to be, I mean, I don't know. I guess if I saw CNN interviewing somebody, it would be hard not to say CNN sucks. I don't know. I feel like I would get involved, though. I'd walk up to the interview and be like, hey, what are you guys lying about? Like, just interrupt the interview. What are they going to do? Fight me? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Call me names? Oh, man. Oh, man. Guess who? They should take it to a caged pillow fight. That's how we're getting things done. Send them to the gulag. Trev, exactly. It's just more of, it's not Trump BS again. Yeah, Trev. And they try to act like that won. What did Hyena Harris say during the debate? 81 million people fired you, talking to President Trump and stuff. Like, what are you talking about? The dead voters? Is that what you're talking about? The dead voters? I wonder how many dead people are going to vote this election. It's a wonder. You know they won't do an audit, so maybe we'll never know how many dead people actually voted. You know, and I keep, you know, I've said this before, and I kind of cooled off on it because it makes people uncomfortable. But what if Trump wins and they say the election was stolen and they hold an audit, and then they find their own trumped up documents and stuff and claim that he did it, and they overturn the election by doing that? It'd be so crazy. So crazy. But I don't put anything past these people. They're cutting the dicks off of kids, okay? They will do anything. They will do anything to stay in power. Look what happened at Butler, Pennsylvania. They will do anything to stay in power. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and move forward here to Hawk Jeffries. Oh, Jeffries here blasts President Trump for inviting Laura Loomer to the 911 ceremonies in New York. He's crying real hard, so, you know, get your face shield on. Not compliance cloth, but face shield. You don't want the spittle on you. He's crying real hard in this. Once again, this is titled Hawk Jeffries blasts President Trump for inviting Laura Loomer to the 911 ceremonies in New York.
Yesterday, on 9/11, Laura Loomer was spreading a lot of conspiracy theories. Spent part of the day with Donald Trump as a New Yorker.
It was shocking and irresponsible and offensive to the thousands of people who lost their lives on September 11, including hundreds of brave first responders, members of the NYPD, FDNY, and others who raced toward the danger in order to help people escape the danger and lost their lives as a result of it. Donald Trump is a conspiracy theory peddling, racial arsonist, and pathological liar. That's just the reality of the situation. And it's being visited upon the American people. And the fact that on September 11th, this sacred day, he would bring a 9/11 conspiracy theorist to participate in events during this solemn commemoration should shock the conscience of all decent Americans, and I believe that it does just that. Let's be clear. Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden are responsible for the horrors of September 11th. No one else. No one else. No one else.
Well, if that isn't the government speaking, I don't know what is. Al-Qaeda did it, and whoever else did it, and no one else. Don't you dare question what happened on any day with any event. How dare you question things using your thoughts? Who the fuck are you? Using your thoughts. Stupid. So stupid. So stupid. The government telling you not to think. Sounds just like it. This is par for the course. Don't think. Don't question anything. Just do what we tell you to do and believe what we tell you to believe. And if you speak out, well, you're a racial arsonist. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. Is that racism leveled up? Calling people a racist isn't good enough anymore. Now it's racial arson. Oh, okay. All right. Cry hard. Cry hard. Why is his ears bowed down like that? Did he go through development with a helmet on? He's one of those sped kids. I didn't have a helmet. And I'm glad. I got big ass ears. If I had a helmet, I'd look like Hawk Jeffries with them ears folding in. That's Diet Obama right there. Crying really hard. Anyways, I told you guys. I told you. All been out of shape over Laura Loomer. They act like Laura Loomer doesn't matter, but there they are at the White House crying hard about her. Stupid. So stupid. Anyways, next up we have car accidents caused by Haitian drivers in Springfield, Ohio. Of course, the elected officials want to continue to tell you that everything in Ohio out in Springfield is fantastic with those Haitians. They're a blessing. There's not 20,000 of them. There's somewhere between 12 and 15,000 of them, you bigots. My goodness. Well, video evidence says otherwise, and we will continue to show that regardless of what the elected officials will say, as long as there's content to show, especially if it's contradicting what those liars are saying, we will continue to cover it. So like I said, we got a video here that's going to show multiple car accidents and ongoing issues with the border crossers that are in Springfield, Ohio. They won't be eating cats in this video. We've done quite a bit of that this week already. So I figured we'd move on to car accidents and stuff. Maybe kidnapping and rape will be next. We'll see. We'll see. But either way, that's what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what your hooligans think about Hawk Jeffries. Guess you have reached the level of racial arsonist. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Do you got to qualify for that position? What does it take? What does it take to be that? And man, the Dems done went full nuts. Breeze by you, Jeffrey sounds like a communist. Fuck him. Of course they don't want us to think. Yeah. Snooks, did you just say that Trump was a racial arsonist? Yep, but you know, they'll turn down the temperature the next time the shots are fired. That lasted like 2 days, maybe a whole 48 hours, I think, when they were talking about lowering the temperature because President Trump was shot in the ear, almost shot in the head, and now here they are talking that stuff. He's a conspiracy theorist, peddler, and a racial arsonist. Oh, okay. On top of that, they sprinkle in a little threat to democracy, and then they're wondering why people are shooting at him. Guess I'm Jay. I can't read that out loud, but my goodness, that is so funny. That is hilarious. Guess it's kind of hard to offend a person who died, you'd think. The other thing that kills me about them saying like it's offensive to the individuals that pass away during 911, but they talk bad about cops all year. Defund the police. The police are killing us. They're against black people, and you know what is it, racial injustice and all this shit. And but in this moment, oh no, the respected, brave NYPD officers that lost their life that day have been disrespected by the Orange Eagle himself. Mr. Big Bad Orange Bad Man went out there and spread some of that racial arson. I don't know. It's so stupid. So stupid. Like I was just saying about Harris. They don't know what a woman is. Now they're voting for a woman. The NYPD are bad for racial injustice. Except for if President Trump brings Laura Loomer to the 911 event, now they're brave and respectable NYPD. Like, come on. You can't have it both ways. Snooks, you're smoking me right now. You look very handsome, Jeff. I want to run my hands through your long hair. Well, thank you, Snooks. I need to cut my hair. I ain't got time. I was able to take a shower, though. I'm proud of myself. And I got the t-shirts done. I need an applause button. That's what I need. I'm working on it. Breeze by you, they're just making up words at this point. Yeah, that's all they got. Hurry, keep talking before the viewers start thinking. That's what they do. They tell you what to think so you don't have to think on your own. Look at how Harris handled the debate. Every time she went to speak, she just laid out what she thought President Trump was going to say. You're going to hear many lies from this man today. What does that have to do with you answering questions? Like, she couldn't answer anything without bringing him up first, saying what he was going to do first, saying what he has done first. And that's all blue team does. The blue leaders, they just talk about orange man bad, and then they tell everyone what to think and do. And that's it. And they just talk, and convince people, hey, your own thoughts are wrong. Do what we say because your thoughts are wrong. And those blue dummies out there, they believe it. They believe it. Muskie Boss, happy freedom. Muskie Boss, homeless camp mayhem on the street right now. 2 dead, 1 messed up. 1 is barricaded in a homeless safe drug dump. Jeez, Muskie, where's that happening? Giggling Spy, yep, nobody can say why they like Harris, except that she's not Trump. Yeah. Yep. Alistair, she was trying to pull the end battle in 8 Mile. Is that what she was doing, Alistair? She was setting the stage and stuff. She thought she was Marshall Mathers. She's not. She's not. Someone should go tap her on the shoulder and tell her to give it up. What really kills me is the people saying that they think Trump should drop out of the race. It blows my mind when I see people saying that. Just, you think Trump should drop out of the race? The race he's winning? What? What do you mean? It's like wishful thinking. That's it. Wishful thinking. Alistair, did Trump say something? I've never heard him talk crap about cops or military. I haven't heard him say anything bad about the military. They try to say that, what did he say? Fallen soldiers are losers. They try to use some, I don't know. You know, he's always being sarcastic and stuff because what Blue Team says is so ridiculous. And then they love to cut those sarcastic sound bites and spread it around the world like it's the truth. And I don't know exactly what he was saying off the top of my head. I have heard it many times in context. But at some point he had said something about, they were talking about the military, they were talking about fallen soldiers, and then they were talking about somebody who was exceptional at what they do. And he was like, yeah, he's not like them other guys, those losers. He's triumphant. You know, he wasn't trying to cut anybody down. He was trying to build this guy up. But they had took this phrasing out of context and spread it around as if President Trump was saying that, like, POWs or, you know, fallen soldiers and stuff, that they're losers. They're losers. And they spread that around. So they love to say that Trump is, you know, against the military or whatever, and then they just play the soundbite. Just press the button over and over again and tell people believe he hates the military that he poured all that money into and that he built up while he was in office. Like, it's because they know that blue voters can't read. They're not going to go out and read. They're not going to research. They're not going to go pursue the truth. They're going to sit there and be lied to and continue to smoke meth. That's just what they're going to do. And it's messed up. It's messed up. Brainwashing is more effective when you're under the influence of drugs. Come to that conclusion. Astral Hammer. I don't know if I can read that out loud. I don't know. That's pushing the limits right there. I don't think I could say that out loud, but it is a good question. Pumpkin, I'm going to ask God to personally take care of him. Gently, of course. Yeah, Pumpkin, I wish God would clear the minds of those that are fogged right now, wandering through, lost. They are lost. I wish God would, well, I pray to God, I don't wish to God, but I pray to God that he can cleanse their mind and open their eyes. You can't wish bad things on people, but as long as they're alive, they still have time to make the right decisions. And I pray that God will do that. He will have influence on them for them to actually seek the truth instead of believing all the lies. Cash flow suckers and losers. That's all they are. Happy freedom, cash flow. Just saying. Let me see. No, Trump needs to stay. He is our only hope on saving America, or else we will become commies and socialists that Camilla claims she's fighting using poor Ukrainians. Yeah, just saying, you're right. You were absolutely right. Smelly, they've been eating cats and dogs and ducks way before it was on the news. Yeah, Smelly. That's like somebody had brought up the border crossers eating an eagle, and it was circulating as if it was new news, but it's actually from February 29th, 2023. I covered it on March 6th, but the news actually broke February 29th, and that was last year. That was, a year and a half ago. And just now it's in the news. And it's happening nationwide. It's not just happening in Ohio. I think the reason it's in the news about Ohio right now is because a third of their population just went up a third because of so many illegals in their area. Springfield has, I don't remember what they said, 60,000 residents or something, and then they dropped 15,000 Haitians in that area. And so they've been overwhelmed by, I shouldn't say that. Let's say the behavior that they brought from their home. The Haitians are here behaving as if they are in Haiti, and that is deeply affecting Springfield, Ohio. And I think that's why it's in the news. But no, nationwide, these border crossers are doing all kinds of stuff that they're used to in their native land. But here, that is not acceptable. But when they're here illegally without consequence, who cares what's acceptable or not? Because they're going to get away with whatever they're doing anyways. So it's no good. Yeah, DeMarquise, that's what I was going to say, but I think I'm too light-skinned to say it, so I went a different route. What's up, Energy Woman? Happy Freedom. AKA, Trump made a joke about John McCain, saying he preferred his heroes to not be captured. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think you're right, AKA. Yep. Just spin it as Trump talking bad about, soldiers and stuff like that. All right, hooligans, we're going to move on to this next one. Guess exactly. This is the blue voters right here. Must vote for Camilla. Fentanyl zombies. That's what they are. You notice they don't talk about that anymore either. Fentanyl's killing more than 300 Americans every single day. They don't talk about it. Haven't talked about it for over a year now. I bet that number's a lot higher than it was. Anyways, moving forward, we're going to get into car accidents caused by Haitian drivers in Springfield, Ohio, where everything's just fine and dandy. Kitty on the barbecue, like Sled Dog said. All right, so this is a plethora of clips of random car accidents and so interviews with Haitians in Springfield, Ohio. This is something to behold. Hit that like button over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
Whose car? Who did this? You did this? Yeah. Yeah, man, this is the third wreck today. We got to do something about this. We need a Anthony Harris from Stark County Mayor. This is the third time this has happened today. This is the third time. Anthony for mayor. This is the fourth wreck today. This is the fourth car collision. Oh, this is the fourth. This is the fourth wreck involving the New Americans. How did this happen?
Because we are just turning right exactly.
Did you not? Did you not see the car?
Actually, he was the one who should have seen us because we give him the signal.
No, this is this lane. He can turn into here. You can't turn into here.
No, we wasn't right here. We was on the light right here, and they give us a green light to turn. We turn exactly on the same side we should turn.
So you're saying this is his fault?
Yes, because we give him the signal. He should have seen us.
So it looks like he was in this lane, and then y'all was in that lane, and y'all turned into here. And because like y'all hit him. He didn't hit y'all.
He hit us, not us. He hit us.
He hit y'all.
Exactly.
Bro, look at the. All right, I'm just. So it's his fault.
So basically, are you filming us exactly because we don't want to do any videos or nothing?
There's tons of these videos, by the way. I had options when I chose this.
Fuck.
So like you might have heard in the first clip there, I know the audio is kind of low, but he's like, this is the third one today. This is the third car accident today with illegals. I don't even know how they're driving. Are they legally driving? Is Ohio providing licenses to these people? Are they illegally driving? Those individuals that were in the SUV that was claiming that the car next to them had, I don't know, whatever, had made connection with them. That was a pretty nice car until they wrecked it. How did they get that car? They had pretty nice clothes on too. How did they get those clothes? Like, why are they driving? Like, what is going on? Driving's a privilege. It's not a right. It's a privilege. How did they get the privilege to drive? I know they're the federal government's privileged people. That's why they allow them to be here illegally. But damn. It's already a long list between the theft, the rape, the kidnapping, the trafficking, the murder. Now we have assault by vehicle. We got to add that on the list. They can't drive. Like, it's confusing. It's confusing. It kind of reminds me of when we found out that California is trying to hire illegals to be police officers, and if they do hire them as police officers, they will then be allowed to purchase firearms because cops can buy firearms. And so this is a way for illegals to not only enforce the laws that they don't follow, but then they will also be carrying firearms while they're doing it. That's a pretty confusing situation. Kind of like the housing vouchers that illegals can get to put $25,000 or $35,000, depending on what state they're in and stuff, as a down payment on a house, which that's not even enough for a down payment on a house. But what about the homeless Americans? What about the homeless veterans? You know, like, fuck us. Let's just have border crossers be propped up, even though they don't pay taxes. That's the other confusing part, is this whole time everybody had this mindset that the government needs us to pay taxes. We have no value to the government other than paying taxes. But now we have people who don't pay taxes getting better treatment than we get. Maybe it's not even about paying taxes anymore. I don't know what it is. Anyways, it's not good. I know that for sure. Next up, we have FDA research shows teens vaping is at a low. And I think it's because they're all doing fentanyl and other pharmaceuticals. You don't need to be smoking and stuff when you're halfway out of your mind. Anyways, we're going to read through the chat really quick. Before we do that, I think I got to give you guys a reminder. If you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. We're going to read through the chat really quick. And like I said, we got the FDA's research, which I trust as much as Joe Biden, shows teens are vaping at an all-time low. Either way, it's what's coming up next. Cassandra, hold on, you're in response to something? Guess hire them as officers, but no bullets or vests. Yeah, we'll see how long that goes. Cassandra, give them a roll of quarters to use a payphone to call the real police. Something needs to happen. Happy Freedom, Sam. Yeah, we got that video. I got it last on the list there. Snooks, they were so calm about it. Well, yeah, they're trying to pretend like they're not doing anything wrong. And that's what they do. You know, we talk about it every now and then. When your attackers are smiling at you while stabbing you in the chest, it is a very confusing situation because your brain naturally thinks that someone smiling at you doesn't want bad things to happen to you. And so when you come into contact with real criminals will smile at you while they're hurting you. And it's a confusing thing to endure. And this is symptoms of that. You know, they're sitting there all calm and, no, we didn't do this. No, we're just poor border crossers in our brand new car with our brand new clothes and our brand new gas that we don't have to pay for. You paid for it. But just poor us. All right? Poor us. That guy, he should have seen us driving across 4 or 5 lanes at a time. He should have saw us. And that's why they're doing it. That's why it's that criminal mentality that, I didn't do it. That's what it is. Zero, yes, states are providing licenses to illegals. Go to any DMV. Interesting, Zero. Yeah. Driving is a privilege. I just didn't know that everybody was going to be getting the privilege. J-Spray, they don't realize some of us study accidents and can tell exactly what happened without even asking. Yeah, J-Spray. Well, and they don't even care because there's no accountability. Cassandra, that's what I was thinking. Are they car rentals? Or are these their cars that are registered to them? Yeah, it's hard to say, Cassandra. Like, are dealerships hooking up illegals? 10 man, 95% of them are hit and run. Oh, yeah, I believe it. If they don't flip their car, they'll keep going. It was just a little oopsie daisy. picked a whole bouquet. Mr. Beansy Beans, oh my god. Big ass vape. I haven't seen that. Guess I'm the master vapor. Mm-hmm. And that if stupid could fly, this place could be an airport. Mm. That's a good one. Yep. Pretty sure you're driving very nice cars for being new here and being here illegally. Yep. I know. Meanwhile, my Subaru's howling as I go down the street. I sound like the illegal. Pumpkin, no insurance, no accountability. It's messed up. It is messed up. Bobby, some cat jerky sounds pretty good right now. Klaus Daniels does not look impressed. Prison hug. Obviously, Dems don't care about our safety. Well, that's, yeah. I mean, look at the dudes in women's sports. Tony Rez, no Captain Hot Dog Fingers today. Wonder why. Nah, we were considering it. We were considering it. They're actually celebrating 30 years of bullshit. 30 years since the signing of Violence Against Women Act. The VAWA. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever. You don't even know what a woman is. How are you celebrating 30 years of women anything? Prison hug. Don't blame me. I supported the wall all along. Mm-hmm. Steve, my cat ate a Haitian today. I won't tell nobody. I won't tell anybody. Don't you worry. Amarain, it's a form of terrorism, in my opinion, domestic and otherwise, because our current administration is allowing and funding it with our money. I totally agree, Amarain. Totally agree. $5D, turning into the Wild West. Hope everyone is prepared. Well, I know that's not the case. I know not everyone's prepared, but it is. We are descending into chaos. DCAT, all that stuff that they own is bought and paid for by taxpayer money given to them by the Biden administration. Yeah, DCAT, I just don't see how they're making enough money to be able to buy a new car, but maybe they are. I keep seeing clips where, and this is a supposed thing, which is why I haven't put it on the schedule, but I keep seeing images and stuff of receipts from illegals using their EBT cards. And I want to say the last receipt I saw, they had $15,000 or something on their EBT card and $6,000 in food stamps or something like that. And people are claiming these are border crosser EBT cards, but I don't have actual proof. These could be screenshots of anything. Like, there's no way to prove this is from border crosser EBT cards. But I've seen 3 receipts so far that shows the current balance at the top of the receipt for the card being used, because it's like a prepaid card or whatever, and it's double-digit thousands on the balance. So we'll see if I can find an actual video or actual proof that that is border crosser actions happening. We will cover it, but right now it's just kind of in the wind. And so it's just something I'm seeing, but I can't verify that that's actually what they're giving these border crossers. Pumpkin, your goat is sounding weak. I know, we need batteries. I think Matt sent some batteries. We should have some. What day is it? Is it Thursday? Wait a minute. Yeah. I think tomorrow we'll have batteries because Matt's a badass. Dutton, when you get married, you pay towards the Violence Against Women's Act BS. Told my wife I paid my dues, better act right. Dutton. Yeah, that's funny. I've never even heard of that until I saw it on the screen there. Prison hug. This is why Dems don't want voter ID. Yeah, but the voter ID isn't even going to save anybody. In Illinois, they're telling illegals to sign up for voter ID even if they don't have the required paperwork. They're still going to give them voter ID. That's why voter ID is only half the battle. The other half is transparency. We need to be able to count the votes ourselves. We need to be able to see every name and who they voted for, because that's how we'll be able to tell if illegals voted. We'll be able to tell if dead people voted. We'd be able to tell if our votes are being altered after they hit the tabulation machine or whatever. But that's what we need. Voter ID is only half the battle. And I don't hear anybody talking about it. I don't even hear President Trump talking about it. We need transparency. If they're going to give illegals voter ID, then we're going to lose this. And that's what they're doing right now, and no one's talking about it. But if you look it up, look up the DMV. Somebody was just telling me to do that. If you look up the DMV stuff, look it up in Illinois. I don't know what other states are doing this, but I'm pretty sure Illinois is the one that I hear about the most. I believe it's Illinois. I don't think it's Wisconsin. But either way, they're telling border crossers, go register for a voter ID. So, what's that going to change? They're going to show up at the voting office. They're going to give over their voter ID. They're going to go vote. And they're here illegally. And that's what they're doing. So we need transparency. That's what we need. What's up, Miss Jamie? Happy freedom. Bobby, no mail-in ballots. Yeah. We need to do paper ballots. One-day voting. You're awesome, Matt. I appreciate you sending us batteries from Mac the Goat. You're awesome. Screaming Eagle, how do you go from living in poverty then coming to the U.S. and doing better than me? Screaming Eagle, I don't know. But when I see Americans robbing illegals for their food stamps and squatting in their houses and stealing their shit, I'm not going to cry. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to cry about it. That might not even look like crime to me. Slydog, record the goat and make it a soundbite on the board. I have been considering that, but I think that it's better to have physical noise making things. I feel like it's more impacting because anybody who's live can just hit a button and play a sound. But to have actual devices here, I even thought about getting a tambourine. I just couldn't figure out what we would use it for. But I was thinking about, because I have a little deck right here that I have all kinds of toys and stuff on. I was thinking about getting more noise making things, but if all else fails, I will just record the screaming goat sound and we'll use it as a soundbite. Rappy, poor goat. I know he works hard. We've killed those batteries twice. He works real hard, Mac the goat. Latin curse. This is much worse than the Trojan horse story. Much worse. Yeah, Latin curse. And that's exactly what's going on. They're letting these criminals in our country by saying they're poor asylum seekers. And so they're coming in through the Trojan horse being, poor people. These poor people. Giggling Spy, mail-in ballots is what ruined Washington State. Yep. DCAT Whitmer's doing that here in Michigan. I'm just saying, look it up. It's pretty easy. Just go to the DMV, give them breaks on their fees. Yeah, DCAT. Cash flow. No American gets that much money on food stamps, so it's got to be illegal border crossers. Yeah, cash flow. I can't tell if those images are altered. They could be photoshopped. I've seen the stuff that Alistair does with graphics. He's amazing, and I know not everybody's as top-notch as Alistair is. But with it just being a still image and a little social media caption above it, I can't throw that on the schedule in good faith. I just can't. I need a video, or I need proof. I need proof that those are border crosser images, because it could just be a doctored up receipt, image, a screenshot. So I want something that's more tangible than some random screenshot, on the timeline. But I am paying attention to it, and I assume the more of these symptoms come out, the higher chance we're going to come across a video or actual evidence that this is border crosser cards. Or maybe someone will steal one from a border crosser, and then we could just figure out what the balance is. Who knows? What's the password? Juan. Stupid. Stupid. Anyways. To Marquise, hire them as animal protection. Yes, dog catchers. It'll work out fine. League of Tarman, you do not have to be a U.S. citizen to get a Michigan's driver's license. Guess that is done automatically when you get a DL voter registration. I don't know what a DL is. I didn't know that, though. You didn't have to be a U.S. citizen and get a driver's license here. That's crazy. I haven't been inside the DMV since like 2018 or 2019 because they want everything to be done online. My image on my ID is from before I had dreads. And they just let me do it. They're just letting me renew my ID. I'm like 20 years old on my ID or something like that. It's because nothing is done by the book. Everyone is cutting corners. Everyone's taking the easy route. And everything's going to shit. We don't celebrate the people that are the best of us. We just go and give booty pats to the worst of us. Just, oh, it'll be okay. Here's your participation trophy. We're worried too much about the people who don't give a fuck and don't try at all, and not worried enough about the best of the best. And because of that, everything's just going to shit. We value people who do the least instead of people that do the most. And now look at how things are, and we wonder why. It's participation trophies and political correctness is how we got here. Bombay man, illegals first. Yep, that's the Harris motto. AKA that white guilt sure goes a long way. Nah. I mean, I guess. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Portland. That's like the capital of white guilt, but either way. Too real. The show needs more cowbell. Yeah, I thought about getting some cowbell. Barbara, California is telling the illegals to register to vote and get a California ID license at the DMV. Yeah, Barbara. Well, and I'm thinking it's happening more than just a couple places I was thinking. I think all of us need to just Google our local DMV and see how many of us, or our DMVs, are supplying registration and stuff like that to illegals for driver's licenses or voter ID. I mean, not all states have voter ID, but Michigan does. But like I'm saying, if they're letting the illegals get a voter ID, kind of undermined the whole point of a voter ID, you know? Oh, that girl. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, DL driver's license. DeMarquise down low. That's what I was thinking. I was like, there's no way they said on the down low. Had a Walter moment there for a second. They could try me on what I was getting at. Is when you get a Michigan driver's license, they automatically register you to vote. Yeah, there's a little box you check. Well, maybe you don't have to check it anymore. Like I said, I ain't been there in like 6-7 years. So, yeah. Like I'm saying, they're undermining the whole point of a voter ID. What's up, Cerebrus? Happy freedom to you. True American, before we know it, Taylor Swift will be running the FEMA camps for re-education camps for us Trump supporters. Yeah, True American. They're gonna play Taylor Swift songs all day at the green zone. It'll be something. They think they want that shit until they got a whole tent full of hooligans, and then they're gonna realize we're not locked in there with them. They're locked in there with us. That's what it's gonna be. What's up, Nefties? Happy freedom. Zero. My coworker just went down to the DMV here, and it was full of illegals. They even had people helping them. Holy. I've never seen anybody help anybody at the DMV. Ever. Those are the most bitter women I've ever seen in my life at the DMV. They're helping illegals? What the hell is going on? What is going on here? Zero in Indianapolis? Yeah, that's stupid. That stuff, it's illegal. It shouldn't be happening. They want to hold us accountable over everything. Go drive without a license and see how that goes if you get pulled over. And then just know they're just giving illegals IDs, voter IDs. They can just do whatever they want. It's going to be really interesting when we're covering Americans turning the tables on these border crossers. I don't want bad things to happen, and I don't want anybody to be hurt or to go do anything illegal. I want everyone to be happy and whole. But it will be entertaining when we're covering vigilante justice. It's going to be super entertaining, and we're going to have brand new sound bites and everything. It'll be fantastic. Anyways, next up we have FDA research shows that teen vaping is at an all-time low. Even though vaping hasn't even been around long enough to even do the studies to figure out what'll happen to you after long-term vaping. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. There's never been a point in time where Americans were consuming raw nicotine in this level. So nobody actually knows what's going to happen to you if you vape. Holy shit, the mail guy's here. Whew, cold sweats. Okay, anyways, let's get into this. FDA research shows teen vaping is at a low, but notice they don't talk about teens using pharmaceuticals. But anyways, let's get this rolling. I gotta go answer the door.
Tonight, studies from the Food and Drug Administration show teen vaping is at a 10-year low. 500,000 fewer young people reported using e-cigarettes in 2024 this year compared to last year.
Caleb Perney shares what's being credited with that trend downward.
The FDA surveys middle and high schoolers each year about their tobacco use. That survey finding just 5.9% of teens vape today, down from nearly 8% in 2023, and just a third of the number who vaped at the peak in 2019. Local drug prevention advocates like Jillian Reese are celebrating.
The work of prevention and public health in general is so often very slow going, and so we're not sure if we're moving in the needle in the right direction. We're trying every day and trying to put things in place that we hope are gonna help and gonna work, and so it is so fantastic to see that the things we're doing are working.
She says a big key to that success, enlisting teens to lead the advocacy.
They don't necessarily believe my story, my input, the things that I know or I have experienced, and so for us, a peer-led component is really the greatest strategy that we've employed.
I've had some people come up to me and tell me that it's helped them and made them realize that it's not, it's not a good way to get out of things, and I feel like it's made a pretty good difference in the community.
Reese says schools have also shifted from a punishment strategy to education. Teens leading the program say providing alternatives like a strong community are also important.
Most of the time from peer pressure, like from their friends, are like, oh, it's cool, it's all this stuff. It's really not. It's not good for you. Or there's like something going on in their home where they're stressed about their schoolwork. It's just they want to find a way to cope with it.
In 2019, the Tennessee Department of Health reported almost 23% of high schoolers in the state used some type of electronic vapor product.
All right. Like I said, teens vaping at an all-time low, which is kind of here nor there. Vaping hasn't been around that long, so this isn't that great of a thing. It is good. You don't want teens smoking, but I don't think it's what they were trying to spin with the story. They were trying to act like, look at the great things we've done, the restrictions we've used, and informing the youth on how smoking is bad. They did that with cigarettes. It didn't make people stop smoking cigarettes less. I think the fire retardant stuff they put in cigarettes is what caused people to smoke cigarettes less. That's when I quit smoking. They didn't taste the same. I didn't have the cravings the same. It changed things. And they didn't even talk about that. They were just talking about vaping itself. I think it's because they're all on drugs. Now, those kids didn't look like they were on drugs that were on the screen. They looked like pretty good kids. They didn't have the face lines that drug addicts have, dark eyes, things like that. They didn't look like they had the symptoms of drug use, but a lot of these young people, these Gen Zs, I don't know if Gen Alpha is old enough yet, but I've showed you guys. These Gen Zers look older than I do, by a lot, by like 10 or 15 years. Like, oh, they're smoking less? Well, that's great. Tell them to stop using the fentanyl. Like, tell them to get off the pharmaceuticals. Tell them they don't need a pill for every problem. That's what's really, killing them. And like I said before the live started, or before that video started, they don't even know what long-term vaping will do. They know that you can get something called popcorn lung or something, make your lungs collapse or do something. And that vaping can cause that. I don't know anybody personally that's experienced anything bad out of vaping, but I've seen a lot of those videos. But there is no studies to say what'll happen after you've been ingesting raw nicotine. Because when you smoke cigarettes, you're getting nicotine, but you're getting a lot of combustion and a bunch of other stuff, chemicals and whatnot. With vaping, people think it's healthier than smoking. And so they go about it like it's good for them. And then they end up with these problems where they become hospitalized. They get popcorn lung, and they probably call it something else now. And there's videos that don't do big numbers, but there's people advocating like, don't vape, don't start vaping. If you end up in the hospital where you can't use your lungs and stuff like that, you will have regrets. And I bet in 40 years or something, they'll have studies on it, and they'll say, oh yeah, you get super cancer from vaping, or who knows? Who really knows? Because even the studies lie. It's like the damn polls. Whoever pays for the study, they'll get whatever they're looking for. And it's a bad world. We live in a bad world. We need to be good people so we can live in a good world. Either way, let's see where we are here. Next up, we have civilians take part in historic first commercial spacewalk. So I believe this has to do with Elon Musk and I can't even think what the rocket program is called. It's not Space Force. SpaceX? I don't remember what the hell it's called. Either way, I believe Elon's team is the one that sent these individuals to space. These are just wealthy people who were able to afford to go to space. Now, all of this looks super fake to me, but I know some people care about space, so I figured we'd go ahead and add this in. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about teens smoking less. Vaping less. They're not smoking less, they're vaping less. Breeze by you, yeah, the studies will be biased. Yeah. I think they're all biased. And it makes me not believe anything. And unfortunately, I think that's what the government wants from us. Is to no longer understand what is real and what is not real. The more information that comes out and gets debunked, the more you don't actually know what's what. They're trying to confuse what a boy and a girl is. They're trying to confuse what hurts the weather or doesn't hurt the weather. You know, they don't even talk about pollution. That's what kills me. They're always talking about climate change, but they're never talking about pollution. Pollution's a problem. The other one's just an agenda. Like, that's it. Pollution's the actual problem, and they don't talk about that because they're not worried about what's hurting the planet. They're worried about controlling people. And I think that's with everything. They're confusing everything. They're saying space isn't real and the earth is flat and there was never dinosaurs. And it's like, I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. And that sucks because if you don't know right from wrong, if you don't know truth from fact or, from fiction, you're in a position to be controlled. And I feel like that's what they're doing to us. That just like the earring thing, like I was saying yesterday about Hyena Harris having the earrings. I think they planted that propaganda. I think they put that out there. I think they're starting to manufacture actual conspiracy theories, not conspiracy theories that are true, but just falsities, knowing that MAGA is going to grab it and run with it. And it's because all the conspiracies that come out end up being true. And it's gotten to such a pattern that people take conspiracies and they try to be the first one to get it out there because they know it'll become true. And I think Blue Team has figured that out. So they're starting to manufacture fake conspiracy theories and MAGA's sharing it out, which is discrediting what MAGA supporters or MAGA themselves is saying. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that with this Ohio stuff because the elected officials are coming out saying, oh, no, it's not real. They're not eating cats and dogs. Meanwhile, there's endless videos and images and audio recordings of people doing just that. So everybody knows this is like a giant psyop. So what's going on here? We're all being affected psychologically, but I don't know. It's not good, and we got to try and keep our wits the best we can. Read through the chat, and we'll get on to billionaires spacewalking. Man, well, this just reported Trump will not do another debate with Hyena Harris. I mean, I feel like it makes sense for him to not do another debate, but of course Harris will go out and say he's scared to debate. She already did that before she was even the person to be debated. So they'll go right back to it. It's name calling. It's trying to be the cool kid in class. That's all they got. Just act like a cool high school student. We're going to name call and point fingers, and we're going to try and get everyone to laugh and make fun of this person. It's like being in high school. Breeze by you, the government likes us to be confused and therefore scared. Yeah, Breeze by you. Like I said, we're susceptible to being controlled if we don't know, what's going on. Zero, SpaceX. Yeah, thank you. Man, most of the Gen Zers I know are dirty, nasty little people. Yeah, 10 man. It's because the internet raised them. I don't even know what Gen Alpha is going to be like. Those are the ones that are using all the weird language, like Sigma or Skippity, or what else is there? There's a couple other ones. It's like I don't even know what those words mean. I don't even know how to use them in a sentence. And a lot of people are saying it's from shorts and from TikTok, that their brain is functioning 5 seconds of attention at a time. And so what you're hearing is their brain flipping. like you're hearing the attention breaking, so they're just saying random words and shit like they got Tourette's. I don't know how true that is. I don't have any Gen Alpha near me, but I know kids being raised by the internet is how we ended up with Gen Z. You know, we got these people cutting their wieners off and stuff. They don't know the difference between reality and fiction. Some people speculate that the longer this kind of stuff goes on, where kids are being raised by the internet, the more that people will disbelieve fact around them. Like, if you live in Michigan, you've probably never seen an elephant unless you went to the zoo or something. And so if you're a child and you see an elephant on the screen and everyone tells you everything on the internet is fake, then you'll think that elephants are fake. You will assume they're not a real thing because the only place you've ever seen them is on the internet. You've never seen them in real life, so they must not be real. And that's a really dangerous slope to go down, to question reality just because you won't leave your fucking house and stop staring at your phone. And so a lot of people are speculating that. I don't know. Only the future will tell. Right now, they're stopping us from reproducing, basically, so God only knows. Matt, cigarettes are damn expensive these days. Yeah, last time I smoked a cigarette, I got a pack of Reds, and I think it was $4.50 for the pack, and they were about to go to $5, and everybody was talking about quitting. They were like, nah, I ain't paying $5 for cigarettes, blah, blah. We were smoking, not Pall Malls. Well, we were smoking Pall Malls. There was something else. There was cigarettes we used to get when we were really broke. Cheyennes. Used to get some Cheyennes, and those are awful. I couldn't smoke any of this stuff now. It's been a long time since I smoked a cigarette, but yeah. Zero, they're $10 a pack? Oh my God. Only wealthy people can smoke at this point. Hair juicer, 500,000 fewer children admitted to using controlled substances. Okay, sure. Yeah, hair juicer. All those young people are on drugs. And it may not be street drugs, because everybody thinks there's a pill for every problem now. You get a little anxious, well, you need anxiety meds. You feel sad today, you need antidepressants. You know, it's like, next thing you know, you're on mood stabilizers. You watch your best friend die of an overdose in front of you, and you're just like, well, that's okay, because you're on mood stabilizers. You're not even you anymore. It's just the meds talking. It's no good. It's no good. Cassandra, I remember before COVID was hitting the mainstream radar, all these stories were coming out saying that the vapes were causing severe sickness. Let's see, not after COVID came out, all those articles went away. Yeah, Cassandra. It's because they manipulate everything around us. Chase Spray, Jeff getting the mail all the time reminds me of Mr. Rogers. Am I the modern Mr. Rogers? I don't think so. I think I say the fuck word too much to be that, but I try. Nefty, stop funding their illegal actions. Yep. Breezed by you. People can only put up with so much bullshit. There's going to be a breaking point, and you know, they'll say white supreme pizza is raining in the streets, but we'll know what it really is. Hey, thank you for being here, Annette. You enjoy the rest of your day. Sam, no cap? No cap? I can't remember any of the other words. Yeah, no cap, Sam. I ain't capping. I'm just yapping. Zero, there's a movie about how all the words got changed. I can't remember the name of it. Interesting, Zero. I would like to see something about that. Nefty's $13 here in Northern California. I don't know how you guys can afford to smoke cigarettes. Oh, The Giver. Interesting, Zero. I will definitely check that out. See, what time is it? Almost 4 o'clock. President Trump is expected on stage in a little over an hour. I don't think it'll be a part of this live. I think it'll be a separate live from Coffee with Hooligans. Nefty's don't smoke cigarettes, but my friend does. She must got some money. Or they. Mr. Beansy Beans. Well, we just quit smoking tobacco and smoked cigarette gum. Yeah, they had gum shaped like cigarettes. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever seen cigarette gum. I've seen candy cigarettes. I've never seen cigarette gum, though. I've had gum cigars, though, that I've seen for when people have babies. And, you know, not everybody smokes cigars, so they'll give them a cigar that's made out of gum. I've seen that. I didn't know there was cigarettes, though. Hey, thank you for being here, Christy Star. Be safe out there. Breeze by you, it's 90 degrees there. I think it's 86 here, but the humidity is not very high. Sam, on fleek? Yeah, I think fleek might be a Gen Z phrase. Giggling Spy, yep, I ate candy cigarettes and gum cigars as a kid. Yep. Do they still sell candy cigarettes? I remember I used to try and eat the whole box at once because I was just a little idiot. And I remember one time my whole mouth went numb. And I never did that again. I actually took a nap because I made myself so sick. I think I ate more than one box all at once, though. I just put it down like it was dinner. Dutton, The Giver was required reading when I was in 6th grade. I never read anything in school. Nothing we were supposed to read. I know the system is soft because I used to play it when I was a kid. You want to get your homework done? Put your hand in the air. I passed all my classes, didn't learn anything. Because there's two different strategies. You can either learn everything and know the right answers, and when they give you the questions, you provide the answer. The alternative is just to plead ignorance. Say, I don't know, and stick your hand in the air. And I did that all through school. All through school. And it was so stupid. Now I'm dumb as shit. just the whole time I'd be sitting there with my hand in the air, and they'd come over and be like, I don't know number 1. And they'd tell me, and I don't know. And they would just do it. And I wait 10 minutes. I put my hand in the air. I don't know the next one. And they're like, but that's 2. Yeah, I don't know number 2 either. And they would just fill out the whole paper. And then I'd get a B and go on to the next class. So in a way, I know how the illegals are getting by. It's because nobody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they haven't been for years. But anyways, trying to turn things around for all the bad things I did when I was a young idiot. Prison Oak, I switched to fentanyl. It was much cheaper. Yep, that's what all the young people are doing too. Alistair, quitting vaping has sucked for me. Haven't been sick in 5 years. Quit vaping and all the crap in my lungs is getting released into my system. Been dying since Sunday. Yeah, Alistair, I hope things start looking up. It's no fun, especially with a fever. 5D, raising my Gen Alpha son as a hooligan. Badass, 5D. Yeah, we have to invest in our kids. Nobody else is going to, and the threat is real out there. The way the schools and the predators are treating children and going after them, and nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody's doing anything to stop it. President Trump has some promises, and we got to vote him into the office to make it happen. But yeah, we got to pour into our kids. Our future depends on it. Kevin, they took the iodine out of table salt and lowered the average IQ of people. I wouldn't be surprised at all, Kevin. They say the same thing about toothpaste or whatever. I can't even think what the chemical's called. There's a chemical in toothpaste that studies have shown it like lowers your IQ. I can't think of what it is. You buy toothpaste without it, but knowing is half the battle. Film What Matters. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna see about The Giver. I don't know anything about it, but it sounds interesting. Matthew, my father smokes 60 senior service a day, every day for years. 50p a pack, 81. I don't know what you're saying, Matthew. My grandma used to smoke cigarettes. She did all the way until she died, and she didn't die from lung cancer. I don't know, it's weird. Fluoride. Thank you, hooligans. Yes, fluoride. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. Snooks, they wanted you out of school badly. Yeah, they did. They did. I remember going in to get my papers so I could go into adult ed because there wasn't courses for me to take. I was 21 and still needed to get my diploma. And I walked into the school and they were like, no. And I was like, I'm not here to go to school. And they were like, well, why are you here? And I was like, I need my paperwork to say what my grades are and stuff. And they were like, oh, okay. And then they escorted me to the office. They were like, you're not coming back. And I was like, no, I'm too old. And they were like, all right. No, they wanted me gone. They wanted me gone. But, you know, how do you grow up when you weren't raised? Breeze by you, the Nazis were experimenting with fluoride and it made people more docile. Yep. There's a lot of stuff about fluoride. What's up, Darth Blaze? Happy Freedom. Lead guitarman, a high school diploma isn't worth the paper it's printed on. Same with many university degrees. Yeah, lead guitarman, but I wanted to go to Full Sail so I could get an education for music production and audio engineering, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without a diploma. That was the only reason I even went back, because I dropped out of school for 2 years, and then I went back to adult ed to get my diploma. And I could have got a GED. I could have just got GED on my first day, but instead I wanted to get my diploma, so I had to get some credits. I went to school for like 3 months or something, got my diploma, and then turned around and a month later or something signed up for Full Sail. Otherwise I wouldn't have did it, because you can just lie about that stuff. Nobody even looks it up. If you file an application for a job, you could tell them you got a doctorate and all this other shit, and you got years experience of working for Elon Musk, and they'll just go ahead and accept it. They don't look anything up. I've never had anything searched. I've never told anyone other than you guys that I even have a criminal record. They don't ever look it up. They don't look anything up. So lie to them. Fuck. Jobs don't treat you right anyways. You might as well lie to them. Thank you so much, Leah, for rating the chat. You're awesome. You are awesome. Lone Wolf, Adderall costs too much. Has it gotten up there in price? I know the demand's really high with all the waitresses we have in this country. Suspicious Skies. I wanted to quit smoking, but found out it helps fight off. What is that? Divock? I don't know what that is. I've never heard that. I didn't actually have stomach problems and stuff to the degree I have now until I quit smoking. When I was smoking, I was fine. I felt fine anyways. And as soon as I quit smoking, all of a sudden I had holes in my esophagus and all kinds of stuff. Stomach acid is off. It's rough stuff. Mitchell, I've had gum cigarettes too. See, I've never seen the gum cigarettes. I'm interested in what they look like. Lone Wolf, gum cigs have had a wrapper with powder in it and you blow it like smoke. Really, Lone Wolf? I have never seen that. When I was in school, kids used to take those Smarties and they would roll them in their hands back and forth for a long period of time. And then you open both ends, you blow through it and blow the dust out, and it looks like you're smoking in class, and kids used to get in trouble for that all the time. I've never seen gum cigarettes, though, just gum cigars. What's up, Golf Coach? Happy Freedom. That's crazy, Alistair. You guys are going to have to send me some gum cigarettes. I've never seen that. Oh, Zero. I see. I've never seen... That's very interesting. Yeah, Suspicious Skies. I was just informed of that. I literally was just informed. I didn't realize. I always call it the plague, but Divock is very cool too. $5D gum cigarettes. Classic. See, I'm going to have to get some. I feel excluded. If I say it loud enough, Hyena Harris will show up and start talking about inclusion. Anyways, we're going to get on to this next one. This is civilians taking part in historic first commercial spacewalk. Now that title is a little misleading. These aren't just regular civilians. These are billionaires. People who can afford to travel to space or fake space or wherever they are. There's a lot about this that does not look real. Let's get back on the screen here. Like most things that happen in space. But either way, some of you guys like space, so let's go ahead and do this. Once again, this is titled Civilians Take Part in Historic First Commercial Spacewalk. And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. Let's get this rolling.
History made in space today. 2 crew members of the civilian team on board the historic Polaris Dawn mission embarked on the first commercial spacewalk.
There is our first view of the forward hatch.
An historic day for space exploration with the first spacewalk from a commercial aircraft.
Back at home, we all have a lot of work to do, but from here, Earth sure looks like a perfect world.
Billionaire Jarek Isaacman and engineer Sarah Gillis, the first humans on a private space flight to walk in space, part of the Polaris Dawn space mission in partnership with Elon Musk's SpaceX.
3, 2, 1, ignition.
Launching from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida after unfavorable weather caused weeks of delays.
Very, very excited to fly on my favorite Dragon spacecraft.
A 4-person team heading up into space, along with Isaacman and Gillis, medical officer Anna Menon, and mission pilot Scott Poteet also on board. Around 7 a.m., the aircraft was depressurized and history was made.
The hatch is open.
Isaacman and Gillis floating out along that extended skywalker just beside the capsule. Menon and Poteet remained inside to ensure everything ran according to plan. The Dragon capsule has no airlock, so all 4 crew members were exposed to the vacuum of space. The Polaris mission also marks the first time the SpaceX engineered extravehicular activity spacesuits, or EVA, have been tested in space, with the hope of one day being used for missions to Mars. The space company stating in their website, quote, "Building a base on the moon and a city on Mars will require thousands of spacesuits. The development of this suit and the execution of the EVA will be important steps toward a scalable design for spacesuits on future long-duration missions." Now, according to SpaceX, the entire spacewalk is expected to take around 2 hours.
You notice they didn't say how much it costs? How much does it cost to go do that? You know, they labeled it civilians. I'm a civilian. You guys are civilians, most of you. So we can go do that? No, we can't, because that price point isn't something that any of us can afford, especially in Biden and Harris's America with this economy we got here. I wonder, how much would it cost to go do that? A lot of that stuff looks fake to me. I don't really know. I'll never know if space is real until I try and go there, and I have no intentions of doing that. So there's no way I'll ever be able to verify if space is real. A lot of people were questioning a lot of things about what you saw in those videos, though. Like the guy coming out with his arm all bent and weird. He looked like a blow-up doll in a suit. That's what he looked like. But if you look in front of him, you can see his hand grabbing that bar. That's the only thing that prevents me from saying that's not a real dude sitting there, because it does. It looks like a blow-up doll, like blow-up Jenny. And they just stuck a spacesuit on it, and they were like, all right, just stick it up the thing and kind of move it around a little bit, and it'll look like space. But the guy's hand is moving, so I assume that's really somebody in a suit. I don't know. A lot of people are also questioning the suits themselves. They're like, how come NASA has people wearing a tank? And then Elon's got them out here looking all sporty and stuff, like they're about to go for a jog around the sun. And what's really funny about people questioning that is the people responding as if they know. That's what's even funnier. People are like, well, if they actually traveled to the moon, they would need the traditional spacesuit that NASA provides. And it's like, you don't know shit. You work at the back end of a McDonald's. You don't know anything. Shut the hell up. Nobody was asking you directly, Tom. Chill out, you know? It's like, I don't know. It's stupid. I don't know if we'll ever know if space is real. I don't see the point of even going to space, but research purposes make sense, but there's no money in space, so I don't have any reasons to go there. But anyways, that's billionaires walking in space. Next up, we have Joe Biden wears a MAGA hat and says, don't eat the cats and don't eat the dogs and cats. I'm just waiting for that Trump endorsement. Just let Joe know we are ready for that Trump endorsement. Now, we're going to read through the chat really quick before we get on to Joe Biden rocking a MAGA hat. But before we do, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and you're using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat. And like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble Hooligan. You'll have access to all of our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live like we have in an hour. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. I'm going to read through the chat really quick, and we'll get into Joe Biden rocking a MAGA hat. Nefties, it's all been lies. Yeah. It's like they keep trying to say they're trying to go back to the moon. But then every time they do, some goofy technicality happens, and then they got to postpone it for another couple months. I don't even know if they're still talking about it. Nefties, cheap movie production. A lot of people think that space scenes, like what we were looking at, is actually done in big swimming pools, like Olympic-sized swimming pools. 8Co, fart on the sun. I don't know. It might not work out. Might not work out. Matthew, NASA, never a space adventure. No, just excuses. What's up, True Crazy? Happy Freedom. Screaming Eagle, NASA, not a space agency. Astro Hammer, the only reason to go to space is to escape all the libtards and let the planet burn. On the way out, that's all we got. It's just on the way out. Well, like they were saying, they're planning on using those spacesuits or something to go to Mars, to do the trips to Mars and stuff. We'll see. 8Co, bring Klaus. Yeah, well, I don't go anywhere without Klaus. True Crazy is cheaper than going to the Titanic. That costs you your life. Dang, True Crazy. Just showing up talking like that. What a hooligan. Pumpkin, I will stay here. Yeah, I don't want to go to space. Prison Hug, I can't even afford Tang. I'm saying. Matthew, the fake axe. He's just getting his little doll hairs out of it. Mary Todd, time to get sucked out into space. That's one way to do it, Mary Todd. Prison Hug, I would have tested the spacesuits on Democrats first. Yeah, they were like... it's like they didn't know if it was going to work until they opened the hatch on the... They were calling it a vehicle, I think, but a space shuttle. Whatever it was, they're like, yeah, there's no airlock. So when they opened it, all 4 passengers had to be wearing their suits. And this was the first time testing it, and it was a success. And it's like, did they know that? Did they go into space knowing they could have ended up like the tin can going to the Titanic? Happy Freedom to you, Mary Todd. Screaming Eagle, they lost the technology. Yeah, we can fly past the moon. Can't fly to the moon, though. Somehow lost that. Lost the keys to the whip. President Hug, I would rather get sucked into a black hole than endure Camilla as president. If you were her boyfriend, you'd get both. No. The one black hole you're not willing to go get sucked into. I understand. Miss Jamie, can we send all the Dems with them? We need to do something. Trick is no. I just spend most of the time reading the chat over on the website. Darth Blaze, no kick love? It takes time. We're live on like 9 platforms, so I gotta go from one chat to the other. Darth Blaze, woke up, saw Sleepy Joe rocking a MAGA hat, still trying to figure out if I'm in the Matrix. Not on my bingo card. Yeah, Darth Blaze, I was not expecting him to be rocking a MAGA hat either. And then to say on top of it, which nobody's really talking about, he says, don't eat the dogs and cats while wearing the hat. And it's like, love it. Love it. First good thing I've ever seen old man Walter do. I mean, he's done some good things. He created MAGA King, MAGAnomics. He showed us that an individual can fall up the stairs as well as fall down the stairs. And now he's rocking MAGA hats and saying don't eat the dogs and cats. I'm saying we're just waiting for that endorsement. And we'll be on our way. What's up, Uj? Happy Freedom. Guess who? Send all the cats into space to keep them safe from the air fryer. It's no good. They're not even using an air fryer. I seen a video where a cat was just being cooked over the coils or the just on the stove. Like no pots or pans, just cat being held in some tongs or something, just frying it over the stove. People are crazy. They are crazy. I appreciate you, guess who. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy Freedom to you. DeMarquise Crab Nebula. I can't remember what that is. Is that Futurama stuff? Mitchell, you'd have to fight your way through all the crabs to reach Camilla's black hole. Ugh, scary. Gives me chills thinking about it. Suspicious guys are already calling Trump Mr. President. Who's been calling him that? I mean, I've always referred to President Trump as President Trump, despite what a lot of these titles will say, but I didn't realize other people were referring to him as Mr. President. Anthony, Elon's spacesuits had umbilical cords supplying the air and such. Why not big backpacks, etc.? Yeah, Anthony. That's what a lot of people are wondering. Why is the spacesuits so different compared to NASA's big bulky spacesuits that they're always, showing astronauts wearing? Mitchell, imagine the horror. No. Imagine what Hyena Harris's crabs cackle like. Oh, Hair Juice, you're getting lag? It's not on our end. I'm not seeing anybody in Rumble saying anything about it. True Crazy Dark MAGA. Yep. Kamehameha Ultra Dark MAGA. Mayhem. Raining in the streets. During the inauguration. Anyways, let's get this rolling. This is the moment y'all been waiting for. This is Old Man Shit Your Pants. It's been a while since we've had him on the screen here. He's excited. I can't remember. I've seen a post by an individual claiming that guy right there in that MAGA hat is their dad. I want to say it was on TikTok. And I'll see if I can find it. I'll share it out on Discord as well as jeffmaclive.com. But I believe that I have bookmarked an individual claiming this is their dad, and we may be able to get more footage of this event than just what's circulating on Twitter right now. We'll see what the future provides. Either way, this right here is Joe Biden wearing a MAGA hat and says, "Don't eat the dogs and cats." And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. Let's get this going.
I'll give you my presidential hat. Presidential seal on it.
You want to autograph it?
Oh, sure, I'll autograph it.
Huh?
Yeah.
You remember your name?
I don't remember my name. I'm slow.
You're old part. You're an old part.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm an old guy.
And you're an old part.
I know you would know about that.
What?
About being old.
Oh, I know.
All right.
I'm a young timer.
It reminds me of the guys I grew up with. There was always one in the neighborhood.
Well, I'm the only one.
Prostitute. I need that hat.
Want my autograph?
Hell no.
You know my name. Come on.
I ain't going that far.
Yeah. You would do a selfie. There you go.
Make America great again.
Hey, I'm proud of you now. You old fart. Huh?
Just remember, no eating dogs and cats.
Hey, they're good.
Thank you.
Look at the kids in the background shocked.
I hope you like the pizza.
Wearing Trump shirts.
You guys picked the place to get. I don't know where it's not easy.
All right, so that wasn't a cheap fake. Just so you guys know, I know KJP is probably out there saying that right now. Let me get this audio fixed. I tried to boost the audio. I know the audio in that video is really low, so I tried to turn it up so you guys could hear the mumbling. Two old men mumbling and stammering. I know that's not what you signed up for, but either way, this old man Walter rocking a MAGA hat, and then he says right after he takes it off, "Remember, don't eat the dogs and cats." And he probably thought he was being funny, but man, he just wrecked Blue Team so bad. Everyone is quoting President Trump from the debate, and he says, "I bet Joe Biden can't even stand her. He hates her after they threw him out of his own race like a dog." President Trump was smoking Hyena Harris during the debate, despite what everybody wants to say. And now you got Old Man Shit Your Pants out here rocking MAGA hats. I'm waiting for that endorsement. I would love that. That would just be fantastic. Anyways, we're going to pull this image up really quick. This is just a little add-on to what we were looking at. This is from that same event. We'll put it on the full screen so you guys can see it. This is obviously from where he was just standing. I can't remember where it is, Pennsylvania or somewhere. But all of these kids right here have MAGA shirts on. All of them. And the one right next to Joe on the right there, it says Jesus and it has Trump. Everyone but the basketball shirt is all MAGA stuff. And Joe Biden's just doing the thing. I think it's Secret Service on the edge of the screen here on the right. He looks disappointed in Joe. But that's okay. Joe's whole party threw him out. So if he wants to shit on them, good. Good. They deserve it. Well, hooligans, that is all the news that I have for you guys today. That's all the coffee I got. But we still got some funny videos coming up next, and I think they're pretty good. The first one's titled Full Metal Kitties from Feline Reserves Have Been Deployed to Ohio. The second video is titled All Kitties That Don't Want to End Up on the Menu Have Been Told to Evacuate Ohio Immediately. Both these videos are coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, and before we do, I got to give you guys this last reminder of the day. If you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the Linktree link in order to send donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. And I just reminded myself, huge shout out to Simply Witchy. Thank you so much for the Cash App. And thank you so much, Jack. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the PayPal. You hooligans are the best. Appreciate you. All right, we're going to read through the chat really quick, and we got these funny videos coming up next. Thank you, Breeze by You. Appreciate you being here. Mr. Beans Beans from Truth Social. Trump will not debate Harris again. Yeah, that's what 10 Man was saying. There's no reason for him to. You know, he debated Walter, ended Walter's career. He debated Harris. He said everything that, you know, he had to say. And she wanted immediately to schedule another debate. And to him, that meant that she didn't hit the mark. That she went up there and did the thing, and she didn't sell what she was selling. And so they were scrambling, trying to get another debate together so she could try and have a second chance at winning over the American people. But President Trump, he's already home for us. So he doesn't have a need to do a debate. And as long as he refuses to do one, she can't do one. She isn't doing press briefings. She isn't holding, you know, real rallies. She holds concerts and stuff. And most of the time, Tim Walz does all the talking. So she is hindered by him not being willing to do the debate, because that's something that she could win in and try and win over more voters and stuff. If he doesn't agree to it, she's on her own, and she's not willing to do stuff on her own. He'll do interviews, he'll do MAGA rallies, he's doing a press briefing tomorrow at noon, and we will try to cover it. No promises, but we will try to cover it. But that's what I mean. He doesn't need her, and he doesn't need the debate, because he doesn't have to talk bad about her. He just needs to talk good about his previous round at the White House, as well as his promises of what's to come in the future. He's got I don't want to say he's got it in the bag. He ain't got that. We got to go out and vote November 5th. This is not made. There's any red wave situation. We have to cause the red wave. But he's already provided all of his policies, his promises. He shows up for all of us. We know who we're voting for. Hyena Harris, she can go eat shit. Breeze by You, all they have is Trump is bad, Trump lies, blah, blah. They have nothing else to say. So lame. Yeah, Breeze by You. If it wasn't for stupid people in the country, they would have already lost. Joe Biden would have lost before the debate. You know, but we got so many stupid people that enjoy being lied to that we have to even entertain a debate at all from a person that wasn't even voted to be the top of the ticket. You know? So expect from here until voting time, oh, Trump's scared to debate Harris. That's what they'll say. That's what they already said it, but they'll go back to it. That's right, Breeze by You. It's Trump 2024. J-Spray Productive Programming. Yep. Predictive Programming. That's what they're doing. Ten Man. Yep. Yep. Mr. Beans Beans, the last thing on God's green earth that Trump would want support from would be this stupid old man. Yeah, but it would look so good politically. To have old man Walter endorse President Trump would be a fatal blow to Hyena Harris, I think. I just, maybe not her directly, but the Democratic Party, I think it would be a devastating blow to them. Sam, everyone had a Trump shirt on. Yeah. Matt, he is fucking lost. He's got to be. He's in a room full of people wearing MAGA shirts and MAGA hats, and then he turns around and tries one on. He is lost. Breeze by you. After Trump told all that truth to Biden, he probably supports Trump now. It very well could be, because the whole time during the first debate, it looked like Trump was red-pilling Biden. That is what it looked like. That expression on his face every time Trump was talking, it looked like he was being red-pilled. And then right after the debate, his own party threw him out on his face and elected Hyena Harris against the will of we the people. And now Old Man Walter is being used as an accessory. He's like a purse. They just bring him out whenever they want to show off a little something, and then they stick him back in the closet when he's not needed. Last time he was out and about was the DNC. Since then, he's been sitting on the beach. So, you know, he's being used and abused, and we've known that, but I think he's starting to figure it out. And it could be because President Trump red-pilled him. But either way, I'm waiting on that Trump endorsement. Snook's Crab Nebula is in outer space. Yeah, see, I don't even know what that is. Breeze by you, they will start eating the rats. Rat sack skin. That's what I think about. I can't think of his real name over on Capitol Hill, but I can't stand that guy. Cassandra, what's going to happen with the rodent population when all the cats are being eaten? We need cats for rodent population control. Yeah, Cassandra, people are worrying about the Haitians eating all the cats and stuff, but they're worried because when they run out of cats, they might start eating people, because that's what happens in Hades. And so people are more worried about other humans being eaten by the Haitians than actual the consequences of not having cats. Sam, if Elon could moderate on X, he should do it. Just saying. Yeah, Sam, if they had the debate on X, it would be awesome. It would be so awesome, especially if Elon was doing he was being a moderator. It would be so awesome. Zero, earlier today I heard a woman on the phone telling her brother she's got to get her booster and he better get his flu shot or she'll kick his ass. They're still out there. Yeah, Zero. Yes, thank you, Zero. Jamie Ratskin. What a weasel. Yeah, rat sack skin. Trigger Crazy. Walter's officially a hooligan. No. Not that far. He's got a long way to go before he's hooligan material, but he's on the right path, I'll tell you that. Bobby, coneheads were from Crab Nebula. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I've heard of it before, but I didn't know it related to real life. I know it's a space sci-fi kind of phrase, but I don't know where I originally heard it from. True American, why was Joe Biden ever or even there? What event was that? What was he doing? We only have short clips of this event. I'm not sure, True American. I don't know if he was speaking. I don't think he was speaking, because what's the point of him speaking? He's not campaigning for president. You know, he's nobody. He's on the way out. So I don't really know, but I kept hearing that it was Pennsylvania. I will see, because like I said, that was the last little bit of the news. So I got a little time here. See if I can figure it out. Pennsylvania. Biden. Biden wears Trump hat at 911 unity gesture, says the White House. So this must be from the press briefing. Let me see what I can find here. Well, here's a little video. Maybe they'll explain it to us and I won't have to read this whole article. It is the BBC. I know you guys love taking it. Just stop, okay? Just stop. It's not Saturday yet. Anyways, let's play the video. It's probably going to be crying, lying, and boo-hooing and cutting wieners off, but either way, let me fuck my mouse up. Come on, mouse, move, do the thing. Don't do this right now. I need you to work. Okay, let's play this video and see what they have to say about Old Man Walter. But apparently it was the 911 thing that they were all at. Biden, Harris. I don't remember seeing Tim Walz there now that I'm thinking about it. JD Vance was there. Eric Trump was there. Don Jr. was there. Obviously, President Trump was there. So this is where it took place. But either way, let's see what this video has. Where's my mouse? Okay.
I'll give you my presidential hat. Presidential seal on it.
gonna autograph it?
Oh, sure, I'll
Huh?
Yeah.
You remember your name?
All right, I'm gonna skip through it because we don't need to see the whole thing. Oh, it is. It's the same clip we just watched.
Yeah, I know, man.
Can I not pause this? Technology. Doo-doo-doo. The event in Shankville commemorated Flight 93, which was hijacked. Da-da-da-da-da. Joe Biden briefly wore a red Trump campaign hat at an event commemorating the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. He was visiting firefighters in Pennsylvania near where one of the 4 hijacked planes crashed, and the White House said he donned the cap as a gesture of unity. So that's what KJP was selling. See, we didn't have to watch 2 hours of lying and crying at the podium to understand that. So I was wondering, I think we figured it out. That's what they were talking about at the press briefing today. It was a gesture of unity. Well, I hope they keep that same energy when we get that endorsement. That's what I'm looking forward to, is that endorsement. Just reading through really quick. And then we got these funny videos coming up next. True American, yeah, wait a second. Where is Tim Walz? I don't know, True American. I didn't think about it yesterday when we were covering the... We only had one ceremony video, and it just showed President Trump and Biden and them all standing side by side. My whole thing about that video yesterday was the way that Harris and President Trump shook hands. There was a little bit of a struggle there because Trump likes to, pull people forward when he's shaking hands. That was what I was focused on during that video. But now thinking back, I don't remember seeing Tim Walz at the 911 event, and I'm not sure why he wouldn't have been there. Unless he was, and for some reason we just didn't notice him. Peyton, dude playing Joe is tired of it. Time for a Scooby-Doo ending. Yeah, Peyton. Prison Hug, he's lost at the salad bar. He's hanging out. He thinks he's Trump. That's what it was. He thinks he's Trump now. Lee Guitarman, Harris and Walz left early because of the amount of people vocally supporting President Trump and heckling Harris. I seen old man Walter leave early. I didn't realize that Hyena Harris and Tim Walz left early. Thank you for letting me know, Lee Guitarman. Walz was there. So that's what I was saying. Like maybe we didn't see him in the video that I had shown. Too real. Let's tip the Springfield cat scales in their favor. Release the big kitties like tigers and lions. Sponsored by Clinton Foundation, and they thought they were safe. Yeah, too real. Lone Wolf, damn, is that a new chapstick? This is crisp apple. I got 4 of them sitting here. What else I got? I got some almond. Let me see. Almond oil. Vanilla latte, and I think this one's pumpkins. Yep, pumpkin pie. That's what I got right here. I don't got one in my pocket. Normally I got cake batter in my pocket. Chapped up. Doo-doo-doo. Mice guy, are you looking for the link for Discord? I don't have Nightbot to set up Discord stuff like that. But if you use that Linktree link that's fourth from the bottom of the chat, that'll show you the invite link to Discord. Matt Harris walked out with Joey. I remember watching people leave. I just can't remember who I was looking at. Breeze by You Walls was hanging out with his horse. I don't want to think about it. The horse had a good 911 day. Anyways, we'll get into these funny videos here. This first one is titled Full Metal Kitties from the Feline Reserves have been deployed to Ohio. Alright, let's get this rolling. Hopefully I don't get flagged by this because YouTube thinks these are real guns. It's our Full Metal kitties there. And we're going to move right into our next one. This is titled, All Kitties That Don't Want to End Up on the Menu Have Been Told to Evacuate Ohio Immediately. All right, let's roll.
Downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound. And I need you.
Those poor cats. Escaping Ohio. My goodness. All right, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. Come on, click the thing. Jesus loves us. Stupid technology. Anyways, we're going to read through the chat really quick and see what you hooligans think of today's coffee. We're going to be dropping this Linktree link while doing it. Then, of course, we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and we will be wrapping things up. President Trump is expected on stage in about 20 minutes. Of course, he's usually a little late. But either way, we are going to be covering President Trump live. I will tell you where he is in just a moment because I can't remember off the top of my head while doing 6 other things. But like I said, he's expected on stage 5 p.m. Eastern Time, which is in about 23 minutes. President Trump will be delivering remarks in Tucson, Arizona. And we will be covering it in a separate live. I did just drop the Linktree link to all of you hooligans, so if you would like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It is the best way to be notified every single time we go live. We have a news board to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. And like I said, the hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, you can watch the live, and it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and links and custom emojis right there in the chat while watching the live. You can also participate in Hooligans Alley, which is our built-in social media area. It's kind of like Facebook or Twitter, but there's no crazy community guidelines. There's no fact checkers. There's no crying liberals or any of that. It's just the way that social media should be. We also have forums to encourage open discussion. And then we have an arcade, and we have an advanced messaging system that gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. There's so much stuff over on the website. You should definitely go check it out. Go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. I'm going to read through the chat really quick and see what your hooligans think about today's coffee. We'll be doing the pledge, and we'll be wrapping things up. But like I said, we'll be live again in about 20 minutes with President Trump. Cassandra, those are so cute, yet so badass. I know, poor kitties in Ohio. Gotta be deployed and all that. Cat Team 6. Snooks, see, nobody notices really when Walls isn't around. Yeah, Snooks. I guess. Nobody spotted him. So where's the clown at? Miss Jamie, I remember your cat driving through every one of your older videos. We still have the driving cat. I'm trying to think what triggers it. The reason you don't see it as much is because you used to see it when people would subscribe on YouTube. But YouTube censors me so much that nothing works. People hit the like button on my videos, they get taken away. They subscribe to my channel, they get unsubscribed. I get shadow banned. The mistreatment I get from YouTube is so bad that it won't even trigger my alerts. And so all you see is what happens on Twitch. And Twitch is low traffic. And so you don't see the driving kitty, but it's there. Pumpkin, the kitties would be driving better than illegals. I guarantee it. Pumpkin, I love it. I know, I love those videos too. True American. Random thought I had today: if Trump loses due to you know what, that's just, let's see, let's just vote Democrat next time and just make this country collapse even harder. Then in the year 2032, let's switch back. Just give them all the rope they need, True American. Well, we'll see. I don't know if people will remain in self-control if they rig another one. Prison hug, cats' lives matter. Who streets? Cat streets. Hands up, don't eat my cat. Trying to think what else we got. Holy. The Guitarman, in the Biden school video, you can bet the only reason Moose, Knuckle, and Jizz Shake weren't there is they didn't want the optics of being seen with most of the people wearing Trump merch. Yeah, it could be. The Guitarman. I know they left early, but I don't know a whole lot about why. I didn't get to see the ceremony. You know, I had to get everything ready for the live, and so I just had seen the clips and stuff for it. I didn't have a chance to actually watch the whole ceremony. Mitchell, yeah, they're gonna try. They're definitely gonna try. It worked the first time. Why wouldn't they do it again? You know. What's up, Extra Bill? Happy Freedom. What's up, Spicy Peach? Appreciate you being here. Saw a video last night. Kids taught their rats to drive cars. Way better than the Haitians, by the way. Spicy Peach. Crack me up. Let's see. All right, hooligans. I think we're good to go. Breeze by you, I cannot live under this BS for any more years. Yeah, well, we got to vote accordingly. We got to. All right, hooligans, it's that time again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, did the thing. Gotta get this wrapped up because we got President Trump. He's going to be live in a little over 15 minutes, and we will be covering it. We're not going to be showing it on YouTube. I will tell you that right now. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to have to use that link tree to go to the other platforms. But like I said, it's going to be a separate live. We're going to run through one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. But like I said, we're wrapping this up because we got President Trump coming up real soon. And I got to get this live set. So next, I'm just going to go find an island to move to. I wish I could afford to move. Hey, thank you for being here, Matthew. Thank you, Pumpkin. I think we are good to go. Too real. That's why you don't see the cat Uber drivers in Springfield. Yep. Trying to eat the employees. It's hard life. Hard life. All right, hooligans. Like I said, we're going to be live in about 15 minutes from President Trump. So hopefully I see all of you guys there. If not, if I don't see you for the Trump event, I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. And I think we have Trump tomorrow, too, now that I'm thinking about it. He's going to be live at noon with a press briefing. He's going to be live again at 10 p.m. Eastern time with a Trump rally. I can't remember where it's going to be, but it is a rally, though, so definitely look forward to that tomorrow. Either way, I'll see you guys in about 15 minutes. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.
Jeff